You're listening to Full Circle Weekly News. These articles are compiled by Eric the Unready. I'm your host, Moss Bliss. This is episode 366, covering week 19, May 6th to 12th, 2024. The graphics editor GIMP 2.10.38 has a new version. Packages have been published in Flatpak format. The Snap package will be released soon. This release includes bug fixes and minor improvements. The transfer of new features to the 2.10 branch has been stopped, and all efforts to increase functionality are focused on preparing the GIMP 3 branch, which is at the final stage of preparing a release candidate. GIMP 2.10.38 may be the last release in the 2.10 branch, or another release of GIMP 2.10.40 may be released after 3.0.0 goes out, only containing bug fixes. PeerTube 6.1 is out. PeerTube offers a vendor-neutral alternative to YouTube, Dailymotion, and Vimeo, using a content distribution network based on P2P communications and linking visitors' browsers together. The project's code is distributed on the AGPLv3 license. The GNOME Foundation has published its financial report for fiscal year 2023, which covers the period from October 2022 to September 2023. The report also mentions the main events of this period and developer conferences held. Expenses for the reporting period significantly exceeded the receipt of funds. $556,000 was received, $676,000 was spent. Overspending was also observed in previous periods. In November 2023, the project also received €1 million from a sovereign fund. As for the sources of funds in 2023, $422,000 was related to donations and sponsorships, $47,000 was earned through conferences, $80,000 was related to the GIMP project. Expenditures included $283,000 for conferences, $105,000 for support and infrastructure, $96,000 for outreach, $30,000 for GIMP, $121,000 for administrative expenses, and $39,000 for other projects. Packstall 5.0 is available, which develops an analog of the AUR concept for Ubuntu Linux and its own repository, containing 518 packages that allow you to install the latest versions of programs of interest in the current Ubuntu environment in parallel with the programs available in the system. Packages are in PackScript format, similar to PKG build in the AUR, and also include download, dependency, build, and installation information. The utility code is written in Shell and is distributed under the GPLv3 license. Nebula 1.9 has been published, offering tools for building secure overlay networks that allow you to combine geographically separated hosts into a separate, isolated network on the Internet. The project is designed to create your own overlay networks for any need, for example, to combine corporate computers in different offices, servers in different data centers, or virtual environments from different cloud providers. The code is written in Go and distributed under the MIT license. The project was founded by Slack. Linux, FreeBSD, macOS, Windows, iOS, and Android are supported. Nodes in the Nebula network communicate directly with each other in P2P mode. Direct VPN connections are dynamically created as data needs to be transferred between nodes. The identity of each host on the network is confirmed by a digital certificate, and connecting to the network requires authentication. Each user receives a certificate confirming the IP address in the Nebula network, name, and membership in host groups. Certificates are signed by an internal certification center deployed by the creator of each individual network at its own facilities and used to certify the authority of hosts that have the right to connect to a specific overlay network tied to that certification center. The File 24.05 distribution was released. It is based on Gentoo Linux and is designed to create a system for storing and playing a music collection that can be played on a computer without a screen. Playback and collection management is done through a specially created web interface. A build with a regular Linux kernel and a build with real-time components are available for download. The distribution can operate as a sound server, network storage, or wireless access point. Playback from internal drives, network streaming services, and external USB drives is supported. To ensure maximum sound quality and create multi-zone audio systems, you can connect your DAFile computer to analog amplifiers via digital to analog converters with a USB interface. XPRA 6.0 has been published, developing a similar app-to-screen and tmux utilities for working with graphical applications. XPRA allows you to run X11 applications on a local or remote system, disconnect a system without terminating programs, and return to working with applications after some time or continue working with another host. You can start working with a program on one machine and continue on another. For example, XPRA allows you to run a graphical application on an external Linux server and display the content on the screen of the current workstation running Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. The project code is written in Python and is distributed on the GPLv2 Plus license. You can both connect to existing desktop sessions and create new sessions with graphical Linux programs in Windows and Mac OS environments. Moreover, Xpra has a built-in HTML5 client that allows you to connect to sessions through a browser. In addition to access to Windows, Xpra supports many related desktop features such as broadcasting sound to a remote system, forwarding printers and web cameras, access to the clipboard, supporting synchronization of the system tray state, and notifications. There are built-in functions for transferring and synchronizing files between systems. GitTough 0.4 is available, which develops a hierarchical system for verifying the contents of Git repositories, allowing the user to minimize the risks in a situation of compromise of individual developers with access to the repository. GitTough provides an additional layer of security to Git and a set of utilities for managing the keys of all developers who have access to the repository, and setting rules for accessing branches, tags, and individual files. The project code is written in Go and distributed under the Apache 2.0 license. The project is at the alpha stage, suitable for experimentation but not yet ready for production implementation. The GitTough verification model is based on a hierarchical trust propagation system. The root of trust belongs to the owner of the repository, who can generate keys for development participants and define the rules to govern the generated keys. GitTough allows you to create flexible granular rules that define the permissions of each developer and the area of the repository in which they can make changes. For example, the developer may be authorized to create tags, make changes to specific branches, or change only individual files in the repository. EuroLinux 9.4 is out, prepared from the source code of the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.4, completely binary compatible with it. The changes boil down to rebranding and removal of RHEL-specific packages, otherwise the distribution is completely similar to RHEL 9.4. The EuroLinux 9 branch will be supported until June 30th, 2032. Installation images have been prepared for download. The project provides scripts for migrating existing installations based on RHEL 7, 8, and 9, Alma Linux 8 and 9, CentOS 7 and 8, Oracle Linux 7, 8, and 9, Rocky Linux 8 and 9, and CentOS 9 Stream to EuroLinux 9.4. EuroLinux builds are distributed either through a paid subscription or free of charge. Both options are identical, are built simultaneously, include a full set of system capabilities to allow you to receive updates. The paid subscription includes technical support services, access to errata files, and the ability to use additional packages that include tools for load balancing, high availability, and reliable storage. VCMI 1.5 is available, developing an open game engine compatible with the data format used in the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 games. An important goal of the project is also to support mods to add new cities, heroes, monsters, artifacts, and spells to the game. The source code is distributed on the GPL v2 license. It supports Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and Android. The new version shows significant improvement in online multiplayer support and adds a new interface for setting up multiplayer gaming sessions, and also adds the generation of more realistic-looking random maps and improved performance of the AI engine. They added initial support for game controllers. The ability to customize keyboard shortcuts is also provided. Cloudflare has published the second release of the Pingora framework, designed for developing secure high-performance network services in Rust. A proxy built using Pingora has been used in the Cloudflare content delivery network instead of Nginx for about a year and processes more than 40 million requests per second. The code is written in Rust and published under the Apache 2.0 license. You've been listening to Full Circle Weekly News. For more details, see the next issue of the magazine at fullcirclemagazine.org or check the links in the show notes. You can contact me at bardmoss@pm.me. I'll see you next week.